Welcome to the Bomba Pod. I'm your host, Martin Bomba, and each week we bring you meaningful conversations with guests who uplift, inspire, and encourage you to become the very best version of yourself. Whether you're chasing a dream, building something new, or just looking for a spark of motivation, you're in the right place. Produced by Dennis Ayotte and proudly supported by Window World and PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. Let's grow together. Let's be inspired. Let's get started. Welcome to the first Bomba Pod, and we're going to have some fun on this show. We are so happy to have you watching today. Thank you very much. If you like what you saw and see today, please like us, follow us, tell your friends about us, and if you don't, keep it to yourself.
I love that line.
We've got a great guest today. Whenever I thought about my first guest and what we were going to do for my first guest, there was a very short list. There was probably 3 guys on that list, and Cleto was right at the top. And so
I'm glad the other 2 were busy. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
So everybody, this is Cleto Rodriguez. Cleto has been a friend of mine. How long have we known each other now?
Goodness.
8 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Más o menos, something like that.
Because I was on the news still when
you were still doing Where's Cleto on the news, yeah. And so I met Cleto one day whenever I was in doing Great Day SA or something like that, and Cleto was there, and we got to be friends. And I found out he was a guy that was very generous with his time, and somebody who really and truly gave back to his community and embodied what community was about in San Antonio. And so we just clicked, and I've watched his career and watched the comedy that you do, and we'll certainly talk about that today. But more than that, and as much as that, and probably more than that, I want to talk about what your faith journey was, going from your early days in comedy to who you are now in comedy and what you do now, and so I want to cover that today too.
Wow, that's a good man. First of all, thank you for having me, and being the first guest. There's no pressure at all.
None
at all.
Well, you know why you're the first guest. I told our producer Dennis. I said, Cleto is the guy that has to be the first guest, because he and I can just sit there and talk for 2 hours about nothing. And that's perfect.
Some of this stuff, I tell you. No, I've been doing stand-up comedy now for about 30 years, and in those 30 years, I always knew at a young age, that I wanted to be an entertainer. I just didn't know what it was, because I knew I couldn't sing and I knew I couldn't dance.
Yeah.
So I said I knew I could make people laugh. I was center of attention at my family's get-togethers. I was class clown. I mean, I wear that. I say that with I wear that with a badge, like honor. I always
as a class clown should.
Yeah, it was something that just came natural to me, and I think a lot of it, it came from my grandfather, who was one of the first Mexican American recipients for the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he seen the attention that he got from people and the admiration just inspired me to want to be like that. And only thing is, he didn't want me to join the Army like he did.
Yeah.
He was like, go in the Air Force if we're going to go anywhere. And I actually tried to go into the Air Force.
Did you really? I didn't know that.
I did, but I missed it by 1 point. They said, we have good news and we have bad news. Bad news is you missed it by 1 point, or you would have been in the Air Force. I go, what's the good news? You have honor roll for the Army.
1 point off of the Air Force honor roll.
But you could be a general in the Army.
Yeah.
I was like, so
anybody who's watching that's Army out there.
That's right. Yeah, we apologize.
He's just kidding, kind of.
I'm just kidding. And so my grandfather was kind of like, he wanted me in the Air Force, and I remember that didn't happen. So I figured, well, maybe it just wasn't in the cards. And the same day I took the test for the Air Force is the same day my grandfather passed.
Oh, wow.
And that really hit me hard. And because we were really close, being the namesake, Cleto Rodriguez III, and he, I remember just seeing how people admired him, and they treated him, and I knew that, somehow, some way, I wanted to taste that for myself. And then all of a sudden, I did. There was the Latino Laugh Festival. It was in town,
I remember that. Yeah.
and my aunt and uncle said, "Hey, you need to go try out for this as a comedian. Go try being a comedian on this in this Latino Laugh Festival. You'd be perfect." And this is my aunt and uncle Noel and Annie that led me this route, and there's the ones that really put it in my head.
So
And
this was, I just want to get the timeline straight. This was before you ever did any stand up. This is
oh,
before
this
you,
is before I
this is
before
before
I
everything.
yeah, this is before I did any stand up. And I remember I went to go see the Latino Laugh Festival, and I made it a goal of mine to come out in the diamonds in the rough the following year.
Okay.
So I started preparing myself, and I went to the open mic. And I remember when I called up the comedy club, I said, "Hey, what are the qualifications to become a comedian?" I think I'm pretty funny, And they're like, "Okay."
Everybody thinks
the,
they're funny.
Yeah, and the door guy goes, "Are you married?" I go, "No." And he goes, "Good, you can be a comedian." I said, "All right." And he goes, "Yeah, you don't want to be a comedian." He goes, "Do you have any vices?" And I go, "Like what?" I go, "I like ribs." And he goes, "No, I'm talking about like vices, like, drugs and
The
alcohol."
bad stuff.
And I go, "No, no, I drink a beer here and there, and drink here and there, but nothing, nothing occasional. I mean, when I can afford it,
Right.
And
That always surprises me how up and coming comedians have any kind of substance abuse problems, because how in the world do they afford it?
Yeah, you got to do a lot of open mics, and ones that pay. And so I remember I started doing my first open mic, and Martin, I brought everybody I knew to this first open mic, all my friends, family. And I mean, I didn't think it was right at the time, but I was killing. And the manager goes, "Hey, you got something. Come back next week. Leave everybody at home." I said, "Okay."
Want to see if you could get a laugh from people
Yeah.
you don't know.
So now there's nobody there. It's 5 o'clock. It's the what they call the matinee 5 o'clock happy hour open mic in the little lobby area at River Center Comedy Club. And I'm there, and I'm trying to make this couple from Rhode Island laugh that are waiting for their movie to start, and this couple from Green Bay, Wisconsin, that are waiting to get their ticket stamped so they
So
can
people
leave.
you could identify with greatly.
Yes, exactly. And none of them knew what a Mexican wedding was. I bombed so bad. I bombed so bad. I said, "Wow." And right there at that moment, I could have quit comedy for good, or I did what I did, and I became a student of it. And I studied it. And I was determined to be the best that I could be. The manager said, he goes, "I know you bombed, but," he goes, "you don't understand. You got a few chuckles. And to get chuckles out of 4 people, that's huge. You got something."
Well, that was very encouraging,
That was
right?
very encouraging, and little by little. But now, to give you an idea what kind of comic I was raised with, I was raised with George Carlin,
Absolutely.
Richard Pryor,
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. These guys were my instructors. These guys were, I saw that. I saw them. I said, "I want to do this." And I studied them, and I was a dirty, filthy comic.
Yeah, and I wanted to get to that.
Yeah.
You weren't always a clean comic.
No.
You were a blue, as they say, a blue comic.
Blue comic. That's right. I was blue because I was sad a lot. And
Is that why they call it blue?
They call it blue for a lot of reasons. But if you're a blue comedian, it's when you're just basically just, you're
Think
dirty.
Sam Kinison.
Like Sam Kinison.
Think Andrew Dice Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy for
Eddie
sure.
Murphy for sure. Richard.
Not as bad as
Richard Pryor for sure.
I remember I have a book at home that's called the America's Funny People, and it's got every comedian from Charlie Chaplin to what's his name that does the Daily Show?
Stewart?
Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
And it has everybody in between. And there's this one page You know who the most dirtiest comedian was of all time?
Lenny Bruce.
Close.
Oh, I do know, and this is surprising. This is surprising. Bob Saget.
Okay, well, Bob Saget is one of them too.
People didn't know that, right?
People did not know that about Bob Saget. People did not know that about Bob Saget. That look, this guy, I saw his stand up, and I was like, I needed a shower.
Made you blush.
It made me but I had to take a shower right afterwards. I mean, with my clothes on. That's how bad he was.
Brad Garrett was like that.
Brad, yeah, and
if you just all you ever saw was Everybody Loves Raymond,
yeah,
you went in there and got shocked, is what you did.
Yeah, these guys came out of their shell. I can tell you that.
So who was the dirtiest?
Sanford.
Red Fox.
Red Fox.
He was filthy.
Filthy. He had a joke. They post the picture of the comic and the jokes that they could say that are clean in the book. He only had one.
He had one joke.
Just one joke. The rest of the page was blank.
That's when you know you're pretty dirty.
And he was that filthy dirty. And I was never that filthy dirty. It's just that every other word was like maybe the F word or something. And then what made it worse at the time, my ex-fiance, we broke up. And I just was on a venting, just every bad word was like a syllable in my head. Like, that was it. And I did not care. I was just venting on stage. And then it wasn't until I met my wife, a beautiful Christian woman, that I remember I was trying to bring her to the dark side, and she wasn't having any of that. And
you know what? The first time that we sat down and talked over a meal was, and I always remember, it was at that little barbecue place down on Broadway.
Oh, Augie's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Augie's. And I think Lynette was with you, wasn't she? No. Vanessa, not Vanessa. Rita was with you.
Rita, yeah.
Rita was with you when you were doing the show with Rita. And we were talking about that. And you really credited Lynette, your wife, with bringing you into the faith.
She helped me so much. She saved me. She gave me hope that there was none. There was no hope for me. I brought a bag of insecurities to the relationship because, I caught my ex cheating on me. And, that when that happens, it's like, what?
That shapes what you think everybody else is going to do in the future.
Yeah, you just automatically assume and think that this is the route, and I thought it had a lot to do with my stand-up. But while I was doing stand-up, she was out there, messing around and that kind of thing. And with my wife, and bless her heart, I actually, I put her through the ringer. She hung in the longest ever. She did give me hope that there was still good people out there, that they were caring people. And when they say, hey, that's not me, I'm not going to do that to you. And then they say that, I'm here for you. I'm here for the long haul. Does that make them perfect? No. But it means something when you go through something like that. And I literally, I go out of town, do a gig, and I'm like, calling her every 10 minutes, like, what's going on?
You're like me. I would have been terrible on the road.
Oh, man.
I'd have been terrible.
It was bad. I hated it.
When I knew I wasn't cut out for that was we would do these 2-night stands in Kerrville at a little place called End of the Hills in Kerrville. And the band that I was in, we would go there, and about once every other month we'd be playing a 2-night stand there. Well, the second time that we played there, we went in. After the first night, I was sitting back in my hotel room by myself, and I was just miserable.
Yeah.
Just miserable. And I talked to my drummer that evening after the show, and I said, I don't think I can do this. I really don't think I can do this. I said, I want to do this. I said, this is what I've always wanted to do, is play music and be in a band. And no, I just couldn't.
It's interesting because when you're at that point and you're in your, like, because I've had those nights too when I'm in my hotel room and I'm thinking, man, I missed when I got married. I was in my hotel room and I used to love the life. And I think with my wife now, and bringing me more of I felt like I could have a relationship and do this because it wasn't like just me doing it on my own. It was like we're both doing it together. Yeah, we're partners. and I would call her, and we'd talk on the phone till we go to bed, and till we're tired and we're sleeping. I mean, sleepy, and it was just, you're in you're in that romantic still stage and space and so on, and it's like you miss that, after a while, or you miss that, and you're like, man, this is so cool. You go to bed happy, and then after a while, it's like you're on the road, and it was when I met my wife, when we got together, everything changed. I mean, my whole perspective changed, my whole life changed, because now I was like, I knew I was missing something in my life, and I thought it was a female companion, and it was
Because that's the
Christ.
go-to for
Yeah,
guys.
it was.
It's got to be a girl. I'm
I
missing a
thought it
girl.
was a girl, and it turned out that it was Christ that I was missing out on. And for me, I never had a relationship. I was raised Catholic. I went on the mandatory dates, Christmas and Easter, threw my $5 on the table. I'm good. No, it's a relationship. And when I got that relationship, when I received him that morning at a small little storefront church, and I'm on my knees, and I'll never forget, the pastor's wife was ministering one time, and she looks right at me in this little small storefront church, and she points at me and she goes, "You are going to minister to many." I'm like, who's she pointing at? I go, that ain't me. And when she said that, I go, am I going to be a DJ? What is she talking about? Had no idea. This was years ago. And lo and behold, it just, gradually my walk just kept getting closer and closer and closer to God. And I wouldn't say, I would never say perfecting it, but because I still struggle with some things in some areas.
Well, none of us will ever perfect
Yeah,
it.
we're
It's
a
a
work
con-
in
it's a
progress,
constant. It's a constant desire to be better.
Yes, constant desire. And it started realizing, you start realizing the change in yourself. Like all of a sudden, I got away from the dirty comedy, and I quit comedy for, was it 7 months? 7 months.
Is that what you thought you had to do?
I thought I had to get myself right with God, and thinking that that's where he wanted me, in the clubs, and it turns out it wasn't. He had me performing in churches, and I did not understand that. Like I did not understand that until one day I did a gig for a Southern Baptist church. Now, Southern Baptist is different, and they hired me.
So not a lot of drinking jokes.
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no.
Good. Okay.
And this is Savannah, Georgia, mind you.
Oh wow.
And this is deep South.
Bible
and
Belt, baby.
Yeah, Bible Belt. And they hired me because the pastor was brand new, and he wanted to shake things up a little bit. So he hires me to go over there. And I'm one of those comedians that I talk about real life issues.
Right.
I'm clean, but I talk about real life. And if it's funny to me, I'm going to say it. Well, this community they lived in had a lot of gypsies living there.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
now, I didn't know what gypsies looked like or what they were, but they were all, their little daughters were in quinceañera dresses. Yeah, that
Okay.
blew my mind. Coming out of the Circle K in quinceañera dresses, I'm like, is there a party? Like, man, they really party fiesta big time over here.
They start them early.
Yeah, and then the houses that they live in all have paper covering the windows. And it's a gift to the couple, brand new couple. I'm finding out all this stuff that day. And so I go up there and I start saying...
Well, I've got to ask, were the gypsies, were they part of the congregation? Were they Southern Baptist?
No, they're separate.
Oh, okay, they're a whole separate thing, right?
It's a community.
Okay.
So I started talking about the quinceañera dresses. Where's the quinceañera at?
Did they even know what a quinceañera was?
They had no clue what a quinceañera was. And it turns out that the congregation, they're all 80 and above.
Not your ideal crowd.
Not my ideal crowd. Nobody's understanding a word I'm saying. And the saddest part was nobody laughed at me on purpose. And I found out later on it was because of the color of my skin. And I said,
Well, I didn't want to say anything,
yeah, yeah,
but I will say you probably brought some color to that
I did.
congregation.
I did. They were looking at me like I was art.
I
And
bet they were
they're like,
studying
boy,
you.
he enunciates very well. Where is he from? And they come around and they,
I can understand most of the words he says.
so they actually looked at me. And the saddest part was me putting my DVDs back in my bag, not selling one.
Oh
And
no.
this is how bad it was, Martin.
The gypsies would have appreciated you.
The gypsies would have paid or stole them. I don't know what they would have done, but let me tell you, the Peaky Blinders would have been a lot nicer. So these two ladies in the congregation come up to me and they go, Mr. Rodriguez, we just want to apologize for our congregation, the way they treated you. That was not Christ. I'm like, you think? I was like, wow. I was like, man, I was killing at my table and then they got up and I don't know what happened. And sure enough, I remember the next day I was going to the airport and I'm down. I'm just so like, I bit it hard. I haven't had a set like that was my worst set ever.
That was
my worst set.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
Is what was the worst bomb you ever had? That was it.
That was one of them.
Okay.
I'll share another one here in a second, but that was one of them. The on the way back to the airport, I heard something I'll never forget. This older gentleman was taking me to the airport, and he sees me and he says, "So, what you think of last night?" I said, boy, I don't understand why God has me in these churches. I don't get it. I thought I was supposed to be at the clubs, being the light of the darkness and that kind of thing. He goes, son, God has you exactly where he wants you. He goes, you don't understand. Your gift is a blessing to these people with them not even knowing it. He goes, you don't understand. You have to keep one thing in mind when you go to perform at these churches. He goes, church is like a hospital. Not everybody there is healed. And he goes, and what you bring is a gift. It's a healing. He goes, so keep doing what you're doing. You'll be all right. And
just what you needed to hear.
I needed to hear that. And that was exactly it. And sure enough, I got home. I was golfing. And my friend called me who booked me for that gig. And he said, hey, what happened on that gig this weekend? Oh man, it was bad. It was really bad. I'm telling him, right? He goes, yeah, I got an email from the pastor. He said that guy was a disgrace to his race. He made fun of our community, and he just gave me a bad one. And I was like, well, needless to say, my golf game the rest of the day was pretty bad. I'm shanking.
That'll mess with your head.
And but that was one of my worst ones. Second one was, and I'll make this one brief. I was in El Paso for a veterinarians convention. A veterinarians convention. Who structured this agenda? I have no idea. But they honored this man's dog he was on the mountains in El Paso and he broke his leg. And his dog overnight laid on top of him, and because it was so cold, and kept him warm before the rescuers could go the next morning and find him because he broke his leg. So the rescuers see the dog laying on the man, and they fire, and the dog takes off. And they're like, no, don't shoot my dog.
They think it was a coyote?
They thought it was a mountain lion.
A mountain lion, okay.
So he takes off. They help him. He's there in the audience. And they say, we want to honor Mr. Bishop and his dog, Rocky. Rocky saved his life. And Mr. Bishop, if you'd like to say a few words. Stands up. Rocky, you're my best friend. You saved my life. And until anyone tells me otherwise, I'm going to keep looking for you every day of my life. Till I find you, buddy. I love you and thank you. Thank you, everybody, for this great honor. I appreciate it. Not a dry eye in the house, Martin.
And you had to follow that?
Not a dry eye in the house. Everyone's bawling. The host comes back up. Mr. Bishop, I understand that was hard to do, and appreciate you taking the time to make the trip. All right, now, hey, who's ready for some comedy? We got a guy from San Antonio, Texas, who's going to knock your socks off. Please welcome.
If your home's windows are drafty, outdated, or just driving up your energy bill, it's time to call my friends at Window World. They're America's largest replacement window and exterior remodeling company, and for good reason. Window World offers high-quality, energy-efficient windows, siding, and doors, all professionally installed and built to last. Right now is the perfect time to upgrade. New windows and siding from Window World can help lower your energy bills, improve your home's curb appeal, and make your space more comfortable year-round. Plus, their products are backed by an industry-leading warranty, giving you peace of mind long after installation. And the best part? Window World makes it easy with free in-home estimates and flexible financing options that fit your budget. Don't wait. Improve your home's value and efficiency today. Visit WindowWorldTX.com in San Antonio in the Hill Country and WindowWorldCC.com in the Coastal Bend to schedule your free in-home estimate now with Window World. That's WindowWorldTX.com or WindowWorldCC.com. Window World, proud sponsor of the Bomba Pod.
Socks off. Please welcome Cleto Rodriguez, everybody. Cleto Rodriguez, come on up here.
Oh, my
My
God.
opening line was, who likes the dog whisperer?
Nothing.
Anybody like
Nothing.
Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Oh, no.
That was my whole set. I was like, oh,
no.
this is bad. It was so bad. And again, the saddest thing was just putting my DVDs in my bag. My wife says, how many DVDs do you sell? Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how horribly butchered your name. How often does that happen?
Oh, it doesn't happen as much anymore.
Not anymore.
But before, it used to happen a lot. Like I was in Oklahoma. I'll never forget this one. And the gentleman comes up and he goes, how'd he say your name? I said, it's Cleto. He goes, uh-huh. Well, look here, Julio, you got about 30 minutes. About 30 minutes. And I was in North Mobile, Alabama. And the guy goes, hey, Cletus, you're on in 5.
Cletus.
And the lady, that one that from El Paso, it was in Louisiana, and she called me Cleto Rodriguez.
Cleto. Okay.
Yeah. I get a gig. And speaking of North Mobile, Alabama, that was an interesting one too. That gig was where this couple, the Rhine Eagles, picked me up. And you can't write some of this stuff, Martin. You really can't. It just happens. It falls on your lap. It's a gift from God.
This is where your comedy comes from, man.
This is it. They picked me up, the Rhine Eagles, and they were like in their mid-70s. And the lady had wanted me to sit in the front. She's sitting in the back, and the gentleman hasn't said a word at all. He's very to himself. She goes, Mr. Rodriguez, you're Latino, right? Latino? Yes, ma'am, I am.
Say Latino?
Latino.
Okay.
Latino. And I said, yes, ma'am. Latino, yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
And then she goes to her husband, see, I told you he wasn't Italian. She goes, anyway, we just got back from San Antonio. You know Juan? I said, ma'am, you just named half of San Antonio right there. I go, can we narrow it down? She goes, short Mexican guy about that tall. I said, we're getting close. And for kicks, I threw this out there. I go, did he have kids? You know Juan. So we're there. And we're there, and the gentleman, they take me to this diner. And the gentleman comes and he says, hey, would you like he gives us our drinks. And I said, excuse me, sir, can I get a straw? He says, sure. I get a straw, and out of respect for the gentleman, I said, "Sir, would you care for a straw?" All I got back was, "Heck no! I'm a man." I look at the waiter. What do you give me that for? I'm a man too. I'm from Texas, son.
I don't need no straw.
I don't need no straw. Yeah, we have open carry over there.
So we've talked about you bombing and some of the tougher gigs you've had. What was a joke that you told in any gig that just killed? I mean, just absolutely killed.
Oh,
But you
man.
never did it again. Never did the joke again.
Well, that I was in Cincinnati a few weeks ago, and and I didn't know how this was gonna go, but I just said it, and I just felt it in my bones to say it. I was at the I was going to Cincinnati. It was 7 degrees,
Oh,
and I didn't have I didn't realize I
you
gave
told
all
me
my
about this gig. Yeah.
no. I realized I didn't give all my jackets away. Like there's these coat drives, I gave them away. And how cold does it usually get in San Antonio? So I didn't realize I gave them all away. I get to the baggage claim in Cincinnati. The guy goes, "Sir, good thing you came today because it's a lot. It's 2 degrees warmer."
2 degrees.
I said, "How cold was it yesterday?" 5 degrees. He goes, "But I'm gonna tell you right now, once you get out those doors, ooh, that wind's gonna hit you. But I just want to warn you, we're gonna run into nothing but ice out there." I ain't going out there. I ain't going out there. I ain't bring my birth certificate. I ain't going out there. I didn't know how that was gonna play out, but in Cincinnati they got it and they started laughing. They're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
They got
that is pretty funny, man.
Yeah, so I didn't, but I hadn't done it again because it's like a touchy subject right now. So I said, "No, I won't do it again."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you
I mean, there's been a lot of jokes that I've done that I have not really done again, but they all vary.
I think that that's one of the things that's unique about comedy versus just about any other form of entertainment. If you're a musician, 35 years later, you can be playing that hit and people will be clapping
Oh
and
yeah.
standing and cheering and loving it. A comic can't do that, can
No, well, it depends if you're doing it in front of my family because they'll call you out on it. They're like, "I heard that 10 years ago. When are you gonna write some new material?" It's like, and they don't
No
realize that
mercy.
you're doing it for the new people that are coming in.
Right,
and,
right.
So it's like when I do a gig in Portland now, I'm doing my hits. I'm doing everything. And
If it's a
then
new audience, it's new to
a new
them.
audience. They never seen me before. Like I performed in pretty much every town. I mean, not every town, but every state. And I think Montana is the only one that have no. Actually, is that where the Mount Rushmore? That's in Montana, right?
Yes.
So I think
No,
I
North
performed
Dakota.
at Mount Rushmore.
Isn't it North Dakota?
Is it North Dakota?
I
Yeah.
don't know. Dennis, North Dakota, South Dakota,
I think it might be.
Minneapolis. No.
Yeah. And I have
Our
in
good friend
Minneapolis.
Jack.
I was at the what is that Mall of America?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I performed in there.
Huge.
That was really cool. And I was like, you got, it's so funny because you go to other states and you go and you perform and you talk about their local, like our Alamo.
Yeah.
They do that.
Everybody's got their local landmark of some
The
kind.
landmark. You start talking about that, and I was like, oh, man, I remember when I was at the Mall of Americas, and I said, well, this is great. This is a big mall, man, bigger than malls in San Antonio. I said, but at least y'all here have like real legit stores. Over there we get in our mall, you can get your teeth clean, your income tax, you can
A chair massage.
chair massage, you get all kinds of stuff over there. And buy a rifle.
And all of those things. All those things. We've got it all.
We got it all, man. Y'all got like a whole different floors. It's crazy.
So what'd you find out from our friend Chat?
South Dakota.
South
We were both
Dakota.
wrong. I was a Dakota. It was
Yeah,
one of those
you're
Dakotas.
closer.
One
I
of those
mean,
Dakotas.
I was not even on the same block, but I actually got a chance to perform at Mount Rushmore up there, and that was I know I have a picture in my phone somewhere. I just don't know. I have a lot of when I first did Vegas. Like all those pictures are in my MySpace account.
MySpace.
I
There's a
can't
blast
even-
from the
I
past.
can't even get MySpace.
Can't even pull them down.
I forgot the passwords. I can't go get
Is
them.
it still up or is it like AOL?
I have no idea.
You know,
I
did you know
couldn't
that
tell you.
AOL existed up until about 6 months ago?
No, I did not know
They
that.
did not shut down AOL until 6 months ago. For 25 years, I thought it didn't. I thought it was gone.
Wow.
Can you imagine being the last person with that AOL account?
Sir, we're trying to move up now. You have the upgrade free.
I have a complaint.
Yeah.
I can't check my emails today.
My ringer's not going off.
I don't hear that thing,
Yeah.
you know? I don't hear any of that. So when you write a joke, and writing jokes is a talent. I mean, it really, you had a benefit last year. I guess it was last year, right? The benefit at the church where you had idiots like me come in and make fools of themselves.
Yeah, we had, yes, that was Pam's Eagle Flight. They had a joke off, yeah.
So people who were not comedians
Right.
were asked to get up and do 10 to 15 minutes worth
Right.
of comedy, right?
Right.
Which could turn out any kind of way. It could turn out really bad. It could turn out really
Yes.
funny, and some
Yes.
of it turned out both ways. But I gained a real appreciation for what a full-time professional comic does. And writing the jokes that I wrote, which a couple of them hit, most of them didn't. You know, and when they did, though, I can understand the rush. I really can.
Yeah.
It's a big rush. But it took me a month and a half to write 7 jokes, maybe 8 jokes. I forgot how many there were. I know I went over time because my wife said you went over time. Always there to keep us straight and in line. But
Yeah, they have a tendency to do that, let me tell you.
but do you find it harder to write a new joke, or do you find it harder to let go of a joke that you love and you know kills every single time you're on stage?
I have a hard time letting go of a joke.
Yeah.
I have a hard time letting go. I do not like writing jokes, although I need to keep up with the youngins, because the youngins, those young whippersnappers are coming up quick, you know? And, you know, for me, it's like, I mean, I went and did an open mic, my very first one in about 20-something years. I went to go to a couple open mics, and, you know, I learned a couple things that night. I learned that the up-and-coming comedians we're in good hands in San Antonio comedy scene, because a lot of them are grinding and they're doing their work and they're doing their due diligence and they're studying and they're grinding and they're doing it the right way. And they're a community that sticks together and helps each other out, and I love that. Although I did learn that I'm a legend and I'm sir now.
Sir, you get the sir now.
I'm like, oh, really? When did I get knighted? And I love the respect level they give you, because they know who you are. They know you pretty much put San Antonio comedy on the map, and you did it, but you did it your way.
Yeah.
And they respect that. And you know, and then now I produce these comedy shows at Mi Familia once a month, and now we're branching out to Augie's barbecue now. And then we're going to looking for another spot in the South Side so I can get a little run for them and just produce shows for them so they can keep sharp. Because I know what it feels like to perform in front of an audience of 4. And if I could give them a crowd and help the sponsors at the same time, you know, that benefits everybody. And,
Absolutely.
you know, so it's something that, you know, for me, I had this one young comedian. He goes, Mr. Rodriguez, can you watch my set and let me know what you think? And I go, you don't have to call me Mr. Rodriguez. Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, whatever you say. So, I mean.
Well, I mean, I want you to think about it. When you were an up and coming, barely there kid trying to do comedy, and you knew that there was this guy that had been grinding it out for 20 years plus.
Yeah.
And had made a name for himself,
Mm-hmm.
and actually hit it on a national level in many ways. That's not somebody you meet every day.
Right.
And when that person encourages you and that person gives you some good advice, you take that advice.
Mm-hmm.
And you earn that.
I can relate to that because my personal mentor was Rick Gutierrez, and Rick Gutierrez was already in the game. He was polished, he was funny, and he was the best San Antonio had. And he actually, him and he was my mentor, and he was telling me, he groomed me, took me under his wing, and when I quit comedy to get right with God, it caused a division between us because he felt that if I wasn't in comedy, then we had nothing in common, which
That was the
was
only thing that you
that was
had.
the only thing we were connected.
Oh,
And
wow.
I didn't think I didn't
You didn't look at it that
I
way.
didn't look at it that way. I felt, I thought we were friends, we were, and this could carry on. But for whatever reason, I respected his opinion and just did my thing. And then when my wife told me I needed to go back to comedy, but to do it God's way and do it clean, it was the most, because I didn't know what I was gonna do, and it
Well,
was the best thing.
you had to reinvent
I had to
yourself.
reinvent myself, and then instead of prior Eddie Murphy and Carlin, it was now Sinbad, Bill Cosby, and Rita Rudner or Bob Hope, and I started studying all the clean comics and Dangerfield and all these guys that,
Newhart and
yeah, Newhart,
yeah.
and I just started studying, became a student again, and then at this time you're trying to find your voice, you're trying to find what's your voice, what's your niche, what's going to make you, and it was, I found out, here you are, because at that time when I was coming up, the Latino Laugh Festival was a pinnacle for Latino comics. But for me, I didn't want to just make Latinos laugh, I wanted to make everybody laugh.
Exactly.
And I wanted to be more of a crossover comic, and that was my goal. My motto back then was lead, follow, or get the hell out of my way, because I'm coming, and I was not going to be stopped. And I was driven. And then when God came in the picture, it was different now, because now I was not depending just on myself, but I was I was kind of like, Lord, you guide me where you want me to go and what it is you want me to do. And while guys were over here in the clubs and doing their thing, I was over here in the churches, doing my thing. And I remember one guy told me one time, "Hey, Cleto, why you go over there and perform in these churches? You should come do a real crowd at the comedy club." I go, "I'll tell you what, I'll switch with you. You come do," I go, "I'll do your club of 400 sold out drunk folks, and you come do 1,500 of mine sober, judging every word that comes out of your mouth, and let's see who has a better set."
Yeah. Let's see if you got 15 minutes
Let's
of
see if you
clean.
got it. Because once you can't go, I mean, you ask some of these comics to go clean, and the first time they don't get a laugh,
They go right back
They
to
go
it.
right back to it. So
That's what I find interesting is that you went from being a dirty comic, a blue
blue
comic,
comic.
from being a blue comic, using curse words and
Mhm.
and sexual scenarios, I assume, and
Yeah.
things like that in your comedy. Which, by the way, full disclosure, some of that I still like and still find very funny.
I used to take my clothes off on stage.
Man, you were like way before Bert Kreischer, way
Yes.
before
I had a joke.
Kreischer, Bert
I had a
Kreischer.
joke that it was when Temptation Island was on. And you remember that
Did
show?
you really used to take your clothes off on
Yes,
stage?
yes, yes. You remember that movie, that show,
Yeah, yeah.
So Temptation.
Never watched it, but I
my
know.
wife and I were watching Temptation Island one day, and my wife goes, "What's this?" And I go, "It's Temptation Island." And then it's like where they try to, hook up and all this stuff. My wife goes, "What would you do if we were on this show?" I said, "What?" She goes, "If J Lo came right now
Oh no.
and said, 'Now or never,' what would you do?" I said, "I would tell her no. I'm saying no, but I'm doing yes."
That's right.
So I take my shirt off. I have a white beater and these shiny boxers. That was my closer and get a standing ovation every single time. One day, it was Mother's Day. I'll never forget. It was Mother's Day, and I was doing a gig with Que Locos. It was another Latino production of English speaking comedians on a Galavisión, and this was a tour.
That's interesting.
Yeah, before Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And so it's a tour.
You had to bring up
Which,
Bad
by the
Bunny.
way,
You had
I
to bring
couldn't
up Bad
understand
Bunny.
a word he said.
You couldn't
I'm just
either,
throwing
huh?
it out there.
I heard the
And I know Spanish.
hey,
Hey, I'm like, what? Is that Hungarian? What is?
Good. I don't feel so bad because I was trying to pick out like every 10th
trust
word.
Me, even the Mexicans was like, what did he say? I didn't understand what he said. Even the Puerto Ricans were like, ¿Qué dije? What did he say? And so we're, it was Mother's Day, and I just heard that Sunday morning about compromise. Don't compromise. Don't compromise. And I remember I had the boxers on and everything under my pants and everything. But I remember I was feeling real convicted. I didn't want to do the joke. And the promoter, may he rest in peace, is no longer alive, but he comes up to me and goes, hey, Cleto, you got the shiny boxers on. Everybody came to see the shiny boxers. I go, I really don't think I'm going to do that joke today. He goes, what do you mean everybody came to see the shiny boxers? They want to see the shiny boxers. I go, yeah, I know they do, but I really don't feel like I want to do that. Come on, they want to see the shiny boxers. I got to get them what they want to see. So now I'm pleasing him and not him.
Exactly.
I go up there.
How did you handle that?
I go up there. I did the joke. Standing ovation. Thank you very much. As I'm picking my pants up, I hear as an audible, what kind of light are you being for me? And that was the longest walk right, stage right that I ever had. Never did the joke again. Never did it again.
Good for you.
Never did it again. I got so convicted. And
God never said it'd be easy.
No, no.
He never said it'd be easy to follow.
It is, and I remember going to the Lord and saying, Father, that was my closer. I need another closer. Help me get another closer. He gave me 3 more. And I said, all right,
That's
good.
amazing.
I'm good. I said, he's got you when you don't expect it, and he's got you. He's always working when you don't realize it and you don't even know what's going on. And, for me, stand-up has always been there. As I get older, traveling, it's a little bit different now because of, I got a lot of health issues now I'm dealing with. But you throw it in the act, like I lost my vision in this eye and I got to go take care of it. But it's like stuff just comes, I mean,
you ever thought about throwing on a patch and doing some pirate stuff?
Well, it's funny you say. I had a patch for a minute. I had a patch on.
I saw you with the patch one time.
I had a patch on, and it eliminated a lot of questions. Like, oh, okay, now we know. Now we know he's bumping in the walls for no reason. We were at my brother-in-law's wedding, and that little girl, the flower girl, walked by. And what did she say? Look, Mama, Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like,
out of the mouths of babes.
It's me, Cleto. Hello. Yeah, she goes. What she call me, pirates, or what she call me, SpongeBob, or something like that? It was something with a pirate in it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, I'm gonna hit one more time on clean versus nasty comedy, and what I thought about, and it's the first time I really thought about this because you're talking about your heroes, Richard Pryor, Carlin.
I met Carlin, by the way.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Before he was bitter?
No.
That's too bad.
It was toward the end of his career.
San Antonio, if you have not experienced PJ's Coffee of New Orleans, you are missing out on a true taste of the Big Easy right here at home. PJ's Coffee brings the bold flavor and rich tradition of New Orleans coffee straight to you, from smooth cold brew and handcrafted espresso drinks to their signature iced coffees brewed daily using a special cold drip process that takes hours to make, but seconds to love. You can visit PJ's Coffee at I-10 and Camp Bullish Road, and now a brand new location at 281 and Bulverde, making it even easier to grab your morning pick-me-up or meet up with your friends in a warm, welcoming space. Whether you're fueling up for work, powering through the afternoon slump, or just craving fresh beignets and pastries and a perfectly brewed cup of PJ's coffee, they have you covered. Stop by today and taste the flavor of New Orleans right here in San Antonio at PJ's Coffee, proud sponsor of the Bomba Pod.
But well, he was never at the end of his career. But the story was, we went to the Las Vegas Comedy Festival, and then as one of the packages, as a bonus, the gala, you get to go see George Carlin speak. And they called all the comics in before they opened the doors, and they said, "Okay, comics, y'all are going to sit here. But here's the deal: do not get up because we're recording this." Carlin comes in, he's talking, "Hey, how you doing? They told me I got to give you words of wisdom. Don't suck."
That's about as honest as you can be.
And then he goes, "And unlike you schmucks, I got to go do work at the MGM Grand, so I got to make some money. So if you don't mind, I'm going to be on my way. Try the veal. It's great." The only way out is through this door over here, and he's walking that way. I get up, and I meet him, and I'm there, and I go, "How you doing, Mr. Carlin? My name's Cleto Rodriguez. I'm a comedian from San Antonio, Texas." He goes, "Good. Get the hell out of my way." I'm like, "Okay." That's how I met him.
That's about what I would expect.
That's how I met him.
But what I observed is you've got Carlin, you've got Eddie Murphy, you've got, with the exception of Eddie Murphy, although even Eddie Murphy, before his big stand-up album that he put out, was doing Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
And he was clean on Saturday Night Live, semi-clean. I mean, his big characters were, I mean, the worst thing he did was the James Brown in the hot tub, skit.
I'm gonna get in the hot tub.
But Carlin and Pryor were both clean.
Yeah.
They started clean and ended up very far from that, which I don't think takes nearly as much thought, and I don't mean to disparage them because their talent was oozing.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's a different kind of talent to go from being a blue comic to a clean comic.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, for me, when I studied stand-up, when I first started doing it, I really dissected a lot of comedians that I liked. And you had guys that you heard of, and you got guys that you didn't hear of. A lot of people never heard of Bill Hicks, and he was
Bill was one of the funniest guys I've ever heard in my life.
He was so funny, and he was so he was what we call accessible. You know, he was from Texas. He was from Houston. I mean, they had the Houston Posse over there. You know, you had all those guys. You know, Ralphie May was one, I think the latest one. And, you know, Carolyn Picard was one around them as well. And, you know, you had, like, a lot of people they ask me who are my influences. And, you know, Murphy and Carlin and what's his name? Carlin and Pryor were the ones that I listened to and sneaked to go listen to. It wasn't until later, when I became a student of the game, that I wanted to learn about Dangerfield. Dangerfield was my guy. That guy, get no respect, you know.
He was a special kind of comic.
Oh man, he said, I put my face outside the window. I got arrested for mooning.
He could deliver a joke like nobody's business.
Nobody's business, you know. And he goes, "Yeah, my son, you know, goes to a private school. Still won't tell me where it's at. I don't know."
And he got his start when he was what, in his late 50s?
Yeah,
early 60s?
He was doing vaudeville. He was doing vaudeville with his brother or cousin or somebody in his family. He was doing vaudeville, and then he got into stand-up. And stand-up just kind of, I was looking at his documentary, and he just came up with, like, he said, "I knew it wasn't attractive, but I was funny." And he got his own club. He produced some of the best comedians around: Sam Kinison, Jerry Seinfeld, Rita Rudner, Tim Allen. I mean, these are legends in the comedy game, and they're all under his umbrella. All under his.
And you forget that.
That day I met George Carlin in Vegas. That night I met Andrew Dice Clay, and that blew my mind because my manager at the time, she got me in to go meet Andrew Dice Clay. and his opening act, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh, so but he's funny, man. Sebastian Maniscalco was hilarious.
Maniscalco, that guy, he blew Andrew Dice Clay away. That's all I remember. And we were in the lounge in Vegas. It was our treat. We get to see him.
I mean, as big as Dice Clay was, and I mean, at the time, I was a fan of Dice Clay's too.
Oh yeah,
but he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth.
If you saw his
I think
act
he would
once,
tell you that now.
If he was like Carrot Top. If you saw his act
yes,
once,
exactly.
You saw
his act. That's it.
That's it. And the funny story. Not too long ago, my wife and I were sitting down at home watching Netflix, and we're going to watching Sebastian Maniscalco. And I tell my wife this story. Did you know him and I were under the same management company? She goes, well, what happened? I go, well, his manager was my manager at Power Entertainment. They imploded. She took 5 people with her. Guess who was number 6?
Oh, man. Oh, no.
And they all made it big. And then she goes, wait, so you're telling me that could have been you right now? I go, babe, he's on Netflix. I'm on Amazon Prime.
There you go. There's nothing shabby about Amazon Prime.
You know, hey, relax, okay? And I was like, but now I know what it feels like to be Pete Best from the Beatles, like missing it by a mark.
By that much.
By
that much.
Oh, but yeah.
So if you had advice to give yourself going back to your open mic days when you're first getting out there and getting your feet wet, what advice would you give young Cleto?
Go back to school.
You don't know. You don't mean that.
Oh,
really?
yeah,
For real? You mean that?
I tell my kids all the my wife the other day, my son. Now, mind you, I've been on television for 9 years. People know who I am here. I got 2 Amazon Prime specials. People around the country seen and know who I am. I've toured with some of the best comedians in the game right now. Gabriel Iglesias, George Lopez, all these guys. My wife is scolding my son for getting a bad report. And she's telling him this while I'm in the room. Do you want to be like your dad? Do you want to be like your dad? Huh? Do you? A class clown? Do you want to be like your dad? Huh? As to where my son says, famous? Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that for
that'd be like Jagger's kid, you know.
Man.
You don't want to turn out like your old man. Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah. You want to be like your dad?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
When he said yes, I said, son, what's that Cash App? Let me work and get that on there real quick. You got allowance early, son.
There you go. There you go. Who wouldn't say that? I mean, I think that every kid, well, I shouldn't say every kid because there's kids that are shy and they don't have any ambition to be well known. But I think a vast majority of kids at some point in their life want to be famous or popular in some way, you know, whether it be like you and like me. I didn't know how or why, but I knew I wanted that.
Yeah, I wanted it from the get-go. I think when I first saw, and again, this is all going to be in my new book that I'm writing. I'm finally getting around to doing a book.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you know, when I was young, I saw Entertainment Tonight, and I said, man, I really admire these people. And I've been giving my Oscar speech since I was 9. And but now it's like, you know, as a comedian, you would love to, you know, when Kevin Hart, they didn't want him for the Oscars and they were trying to cancel him. I was like, call me, I'll go do the Oscars. Nobody knows me, but I mean, hey, I'll do it. You know, it's just, it would have been an honor, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, there's just other.
Nobody really knew Nikki Glaser until she.
Oh,
I mean, if you were a comedy fan, you knew Nikki Glaser.
Nikki Glaser is.
She is hilarious.
My favorite female comedian right now.
She's good.
Is so good. Her roasts are on point. I mean,
they're wicked, man. They're wicked.
She is wicked. Yeah, she is. She is like has no soul.
Sometimes
I believe she has no soul whatsoever. But she is one of my favorites. And but yeah, I think, you know, getting back as far as like Clean and Dirty, you know, I mean, I did Dirty because it's all I knew. And until I studied clean, and I started, my life changed. It helped a lot. And for me, even more so was not so much giving Cleto the glory, but God the glory at the end of the day. And for me, that mattered more. And then my dreams changed. I no longer wanted. I still want a sitcom, but I want to kind of do it in a different way now. It's a different side of it that I want to do. But I
Angel
do,
Studios.
huh?
Angel Studios.
Yeah, Angel
You can do
Studios.
it.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to do it with a little bit more of letting people know that it's like you could be a Christian, but you can also laugh at life. And a lot of people don't realize that. They just think that, oh man, I'm doomed if I go that route. And I am fascinated sometimes with some of my friends. They're like, man, I don't want to give up my life. You don't. You don't give it up. It's just a matter of
No, what they don't
it work.
understand is you gain it.
Yeah, you gain
They
it.
don't understand that.
Yeah, that's
And
the perfect. That's exactly right. That you don't understand. You gain it, and they don't. It's kind of. It's been a mission. I remember when I first. Uh, oh man, I when I came back to comedy and it was clean, and people were like, "Man, you're back." And um, I remember my wife gave me a WWJD bracelet back in the day, and this is when I knew that my ministry, my comedy was my ministry, because one of my friends from California, he saw my bracelet. He goes, "Hey bartender, let me have what he has on his arm." I go, "You want to know about Jesus?" He goes, "No, white wine and Jack Daniels, right?" That's when I knew. What was it? The harvest is plenty and the workers are for you. That's when I knew. This is where I belong, Lord. I got you. And so it's been an interesting ride. I mean, I I've been through the fire. I've taken all the names and all that stuff, and been shunned and all that. But it wouldn't change it, because it's, for me, it was something that was personal, and it was something that he's led me, and he still leads me to this day. I mean, one of my best gigs ever was here, but it was at the AT&T Center. Gabriel Iglesias gave me a 7-minute guest spot, and I went up there, and doing the 7-minute guest spot, when they say this guy is from your very own hometown, where's Cleto? And people they just start screaming. That just, man, the hairs on my neck just stood
that had
up.
to floor you.
And I went up there, and the hardest thing was doing 7 minutes and getting off, because the crowd was right there
Oh,
with you.
oh.
And I was like, when I said good night, San Antonio, and I took a
You got to
bow,
pop.
oh man, it was just amazing. And to this day, I thank Gabriel for that, because he invites me. The last time he invited me was the Tobin, and I fell on my face. I don't
Oh,
know if you saw that.
uh,
I
you actually
didn't.
literally.
Oh no, they introduced me. I didn't see the speakers. Boom. They
Did they think it was part of the
plant.
act?
They go, man, you really are blind. I mean, wow. They
Watching,
said, "Where's
watching too many
Cleto?"
Chevy Chase episodes.
Yeah, they said, "Where's Cleto?" We didn't expect the floor.
That's funny. Yeah, I think Gabriel has been really good for the comedy world in San Antonio
Yeah,
recently, because now he's
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 a
one of us
resident
now.
of New
New
Braunfels.
Braunfels. Yeah. I still
So
haven't seen him. They say, oh, yeah, I ran into him here. I haven't seen him yet.
you
But
live in New Braunfels?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
around,
I mean,
he bought a whole block.
and I frequent some of the places that I know he goes. So
Yeah, Bucky's, Walmart,
La
and
Cosecha,
Whataburger.
La Cosecha, Whataburger.
Yeah,
I forgot where else, but yeah, McAdoo's. Somebody ran into him at McAdoo's.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's around there, and he just moved there, and he bought, like, I think 4 houses or something like that, and like a whole block. And having him here has been great for the comedy scene. People love running into him. Being able to just
And he seems very accessible,
yeah, he is. At one time, I mean, you talk about, he's one of the biggest comedians in the world.
Yeah. Not biggest Latino comedians in the world,
No,
one of the biggest
comedian
comedians in the world.
I mean, when you can sell out Dubai and
Dodger Stadium.
Dodger Stadium, I mean, that's huge. That's huge. And you don't sneeze at that. I mean,
No,
that is just something
no.
that you just wow. Me, I'm just trying to fill up mi familia, and I mean that's
But yeah, and you do a pretty good job of that.
I'm trying. Friend of mine told me, he goes, man, it's pretty cool. You sold out on your birthday show. You sold out, and George Lopez was in town. I said, yeah, but I think George Lopez didn't have to worry about just selling 100 tickets.
No, no. And
Because he was at the Majestic.
I'm not sure old George has the pull he used to have, but that's just me.
Yeah, George.
Yeah, but last serious question I have for you, and then I got a couple of throwouts at the end. But what would you be doing if you weren't doing comedy?
I get asked that quite a bit. Honestly, I think I'd be a pastor.
I think you'd be good at it.
I think I'd be a pastor.
I think you'd be really good at it.
It's funny because when you go do shows at different churches across the country, you find out the pastors that wanted to be comedians.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And they'll tell you
Not
too,
every one of them get to be Sam Kinison either.
No,
is it?
that's right. That's right. Sam Kinison was a preacher's kid. And
Yeah,
he
was a preacher. Have
he
you
was a
seen his
preacher
stuff?
himself.
Have you
Yep.
seen him preaching?
No.
And look up his videos; they're online.
Okay.
And I
Check
mean,
it
he
out.
was like a get after you preacher.
He
He
was brimstone
fire
and
and
fire,
brimstone,
huh? Yeah.
jumping around, yelling. I mean,
I
imagine
heard.
his comedy energy on the pulpit.
Wow.
Crazy,
That,
crazy.
I have to see that. Because,
Pretty funny.
I think for me, I definitely would be a pastor. It's something that, just being able to share what God puts in my heart, and is something that it sometimes comes really easy, and then at times I was struggling with it at first. Like I didn't I didn't want to answer the call, if you will, but then comes a time when you're tired of being tired, and God says, like, I got something for you. I'm just waiting for you. And when you finally surrender and just give it to him, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's behind door number 1, door number 2, door number 3.
Right.
And it's till you walk through it till you find out, okay, I can deal with this, or, oh wow, okay, Lord, oh wow, I didn't know this was behind this door. And it's now something for myself that I enjoy, my quiet time, and being able to have that relationship. I found out during my COVID, when I was really sick, I was in ICU for 3 weeks. During that time, I didn't make any deals with God, but I did say, if I got out of here, I would give you the glory, no matter where I'm at. And he did get me out of there, and I wasn't supposed to walk out of there. I mean, you're looking at a walking miracle, Martin. Now they had me.
I
in
know
the
you were in
dirt.
bad shape.
Oh man, they had me in the dirt because my oxygen level was supposed to be at 99, and it was at 48. And they already had me in the
Wow.
ground. And
Wow.
when you're looking at the doctor's face, and they have no idea what to do with you, it's scary. So someone asked me, what was the lesson here? And I said, for me, it was being grateful for what I had and not complain anymore. And I was complaining before about where I was in my career, and how come I don't have this yet, and what kind of husband I was, and what kind of dad I was. And, I just felt like I wasn't meeting the mark, and I just complained and complained and complained. And why does this guy have that? And that, and God said, okay, you want to complain? Let me put a little stop and a halt. I realized what I had, so I don't complain anymore. There's no more hell gigs. If I had 4 people, I was like, I ain't going out there. It's a hell gig. I ain't going out.
Not
It's gonna
anymore.
be brutal. Now,
I got a gig.
I got a gig. I'm like, no, those 4 are going to get the best show of their life right now. They sure are. And, it was kind of very interesting to see God work in that way. And he's still working, and he's still opening doors for me, and he's still helping me through my trials and through my health issues. And, I just, his peace is what comforts me, and his lead is what I go by.
And he'll do that for anybody that's listening
Absolutely.
to. He will. Cleto, thank you so much, man.
No,
Thanks.
thank you for having me.
I've got a few questions I'm going to throw at you.
Sure.
These are just like rapid fire,
Let's do
okay?
it.
First car.
Hmm?
First car.
Oh, first car, Pontiac T1000.
Favorite band or concert?
Bon Jovi.
All right. When the wife's out of town,
Mm-hmm.
don't go there. When the wife's out of town, what food do you eat that you can't get away with eating when your wife's here? Or when you're out of town and she's here?
Hooters.
Hooters?
Hooters wings.
Okay. Yeah. Because he goes there for the wings.
Yeah. My wife, I told her, I used to go during March Madness with my friends.
Yeah.
To go eat Hooters wings every single year. I got married. That all stopped. And my wife, I try to tell her that, I want to go eat. You can come with me.
Yeah,
I told her,
exactly. Right. Yeah.
You come with me and eat these wings. And she's like, I ain't going over there. And you just want to be a cochino and all this. Like, no, I don't. I just want to get the wings. And I told my wife, and this is so funny. The other day I asked her, babe, if you came home and saw a Hooters to-go box in the trash can, what would you think? I would be so mad at you. I go, why? She goes, because you went to Hooters. I go, yeah, but I brought it home. She goes, but you still have to see them when they bring it to the car. I couldn't win.
Oh, man.
I said, that was good, though. What's your first car?
My first car? Chevy Impala, 78.
Ooh.
78 Chevy Impala.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was green mostly, except for the front panel.
I don't know why I hear that. All of a sudden, I feel like saying, all right.
Yeah. Everybody, Cleto Rodriguez, thank you so much for being here and being the inaugural guest on the Bomba Pod.
I appreciate it. Anytime you let me know, I got plenty more to say. I get to chapter 2 next time.
I'll get you back. Got a book coming out sometime in the future,
yes.
near future. And where are you going to be playing next?
Next, I will be in the Valley for Valentine's Day, for all the loved ones. I'm going to be in the Valley.
Valentine's Day?
No, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. That's right. That's good. And then after that, I'll be in New Braunfels.
Where at? Where are you playing?
Next Wednesday. I forgot some nice brand new club that one of Gabriel's guys is running it. Hooter Moreno is not Hooter. I'm sorry, Sean Latham.
Sean Latham. Okay, I know. Yeah, I know Sean Latham name. It's not Cowboys and Cadillacs, is it?
No.
Lost and Found.
No. Oh my gosh. I have it on my phone.
Yeah.
I could tell you.
Yeah, tell me
tell
after
you.
the show, and because I'd love to come see it.
It'll be next Wednesday.
I should be around next Wednesday. I hope. Cleto, thanks again, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, man. Keep spreading the good news, buddy.
Absolutely, will do.
Thank you for tuning in to the Bomba Pod. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend, post it, and help us spread the inspiration. Special thanks to our producer, Dennis Ayotte, and to our sponsors, Window World and PJ's Coffee of New Orleans, for helping make these conversations possible. I'm Martin Bomba, and remember, your story matters, your voice matters, and your impact starts now. Until next time, go out and spread some kindness. Make the world a better place. The views expressed on this show by the guest or the host may not reflect those of our sponsors.
We'll text from here and there. We'll text.